The first card you have for your past is Judgment. Yeah, so this is a sudden big trumpet blowing. It's like, bam, okay, everyone call to attention. Everyone look at me. This is what you have to be aware of. This is alert, alert, like a siren almost. Now, I think this is about a sudden realization. And I think this might be about someone who you're hoping to get back together with, or at least talk to again or communicate with again, or someone like that. I think this is someone who you had a history with, and I think this might be a romantic connection. And I think at this time your mind might have been trying to tell you, logically, that this person might not have been such a great person to have around you. It's like your mind can tell you one thing, but then your heart is in another place. And I think that's what was happening here. So, there was still a piece of your heart, I think, that was with them. And I think what happened was maybe this realization came to you. You found something out about something, you heard something, or you saw something. And then it was like this big trumpet came down. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm coughing. And then, I'm sorry, I'm coughing. Sorry about that. Yeah, and this big trumpet came down. You found this thing out. And it kind of pushed you a bit further away from where your heart was. So your heart kind of pushed out a bit further away from them. You still had these emotions for this person, but then this realization kind of made you move away a bit. So I think what's happening is this is the start of a process. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't stop coughing. I don't want to edit, and I don't want to kind of start all over again. I want to kind of do the readings right from the start to the end. So if I cough, if I sneeze, whatever, that's how it is. Sorry, I say as I cough again. Right, so hopefully that's over. So yeah, you had this thing you found out. It was a great big blast to you. And I think that's what gave you this extra push to kind of move away from this person in your head and in your heart as well. So yeah, this puts you on alert. This trumpet's blasting. Everyone on this card's kind of shocked and surprised. But I think this was the right blast for you to hear. This was an important thing for you to hear. It was the right thing. And it came from above, from this beautiful angel. So this is the universe giving you a warning to move forward and away from that person, and you're supposed to find this out at this time. That's what I'm seeing in that card. I'm sorry I coughed so much. My throat's still a bit funny, so hopefully I won't keep going with this coughing. The next card you have for your past is the Five of Swords. When I'm a bit nervous, I cough as well. And I think getting back into these readings again, I haven't been used to recording them. So maybe that's a bit of what it is as well. So just try to bear with me. So yeah, I think what was happening was you might have been just laying low for a while after you found this out. You weren't quite sure what to do with this revelation. I think eventually you are just going to drop your sword like the men on this card that are walking away, and you're just going to walk away. You're not going to fight for this anymore inside your heart and inside your mind. And I think also your mind for a long, long time was trying to tell you to stop fighting for this person. But your heart had to catch up with your mind. And I think it took this revelation for your heart to be able to start to see this properly. It was like a jolt in your heart. And that was going to kind of help you to move on. And so, if this is resonating, I know this would have been a horrible feeling, a horrible thing to have to find out. And if you're still going through this, you probably won't be able to see this right now, but you will when you look back. You'll realize that, finding this out was the best thing for you. And yeah, again, you were supposed to find this out. This is what I keep on seeing. And it's kind of like you didn't want to move on from them in your heart, but you're kind of drifting around thinking, oh, I should, but I can't really. My head wants to, but my heart can't. I can't quite move on. I still think about them. You're drifting around, in the coastline, I think, of the waters of your emotions. And then when you found out this revelation, this big blast, it kind of gave you that little push to kind of drift out a little bit further away from them. I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm seeing now. So the last card you have your past is the Page of Wands. So yeah, again, if this is all resonating, this card's telling you to look up to better things, things that are there for you. Wands are about action, and there are pyramids behind this page as well, obviously pointing upwards, saying look up, point up, go upwards, rise above, move up. And, there are three of them. So to me, the three of them represents, body, mind, and spirit. So if you move forward, upwards, away from this person, these three key aspects of your life are really going to improve your body, your mind, and your spirit, because you won't be bogged down in what this person's saying, thinking, doing. You'll be able to just move forward. It's going to be gradual, but that's what you'll be able to do. I'm also seeing some kind of opportunity, and I think there might be some travel around this opportunity. I think there might be a lot of planning, a lot of preparation that has to go into this, that has to happen before you actually do whatever this opportunity is or take this up. I think there are a lot of stages that are going to have to happen before you're actually able to do this. I think there might even be a year or more of planning ahead of you. Now that sounds like a long time. It's not really. It's going to go very quickly for you. I think you're going to be very, very busy in this next year. But yeah, it's going to be a lot to planning before you actually go ahead with whatever this opportunity is. Now, I think there's learning involved in this as well. But I think, the main message with this is, again, don't let your feelings for this person stop you from pursuing or, from moving ahead or planning this or whatever. Because I keep on getting this feeling that, you still had some hope for them deep down, and maybe you still do. You are drifting a little bit further away. It's a slow process, but you're still in a kind of a precarious position. So one tiny thing they say, they might be so gorgeous, they might just look at you and you go, oh, and you'll start to go back again. It might be that. So just be very careful when you're in this position. Obviously, if you want to go back to them, that's up to you. But I am seeing warnings around this, and I am seeing that, you've had this warning, this big siren in the Judgment card telling you that you need to push forward. And I'm seeing that everywhere here. So again, if this is resonating, don't let these old feelings keep you stuck on this old path. Don't let this happen. Look upwards like this page. He's looking to the top of this wand. He wants to go up, and that's what you should be doing. That's what I'm seeing there. So the first card you have here present is the Knight of Swords. So yeah, I am seeing a little bit of a difference in maturity between you and this person who's been on your mind, this person in the Judgment card. Yeah, I think one of you has more experience or more maturity than the other person. It might be that you're older, or they are, or it might not be that. It might just be, some very, very old people are very immature, and some very young people are mature. So it might not be age. It might just be what's in your mind or what's their mind. I've got the feeling that you're the more mature one. That's just what I'm sensing. Yeah, what I'm seeing in this card is, I think they're probably going to come and try and talk to you again, or someone on their behalf is going to try and talk to you again. This is the forceful card. This is the Knight of Swords, so they're probably going to try and force that quite strongly on you. They're going to say, oh, please listen to me, la, 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 la. I am seeing explanations. They might give me excuses. So yeah, again, just be careful around this, because I don't want to make people feel paranoid, but I think you're going to have to really think about whether these are explanations or whether they're excuses. And also the way, because this is so forceful, they might be thinking more about what they want. I want to reconcile. I want them to understand. I want them to hear what I have to say. But they're not thinking about what you want, how you're feeling, how you might be feeling about this. They're not thinking, how can I make this right for this person? How can I make this person feel better? How can I listen to them and understand them? That's not what this card is. This card is like, I'm rushing forward, I'm forceful, this is what I want. So that's where the warning is in there. Now, I'm not saying don't forgive them. I'm just saying take this, it's up to you. Take this slowly. think carefully about this, because the cards that you have in your past as well, they're reminding you to move forward and concentrate on your own purpose, not on this person. That's what I'm seeing again. So yeah, the next card you have your present is the Sun. And this is obviously a beautiful, beautiful, positive card. I'm seeing a few things in this card. Now, I don't want to turn this positive card into a negative card, and I do get accused of doing that sometimes, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, and I have to look at each card with what it's around as well, and what I've seen already as well. So I think you're going to find, like, sometimes the Sun can be about shedding light on things, shedding the sun on things, so I think you are going to find out some things that you've been wondering about. Probably things about this person, things that might not have been adding up to you, for you in your mind when you're around them. So I think some of the things that they're going to try to say to you when they do come and talk to you again, I think they're going to feel like a little bit of a breakthrough to you. It's like, you know, there's a wall here that this child's broken through. So I think you're going to think, well, I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't sure about that. Now I'm a little bit surer about it. Now this is all making sense to me. That's what I'm getting in that as well. Again, because there's a child on this card, I think they might be the one who's a little bit less mature than you are. They might be childlike. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is that, because I've got this underneath the, or under the Knight of Swords, when they come forward to you and they talk to you and they want to explain this to you and they want you to understand where they're coming from, they might be a little bit too optimistic that you're just going to sit there and listen to what they have to say. They're like, oh, I can come in, I'm riding in on my horse, I'm all optimistic, and they'll listen to me, they'll understand, they'll get back together, or they'll be friends again, or they'll see my side and it'll all be fine. Hooray, everything's fine and positive and wonderful. And I think that obviously you need to be a lot slower about this. Take your time about this. Don't just go along with them, because again, they're pushing it in the Knight of Swords. Okay, so I won't say any more about that. I'm just repeating myself now. Also, this red banner, or this red, this red banner that this child's holding, I'm seeing it as a red flag as well. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now, I don't often see that in this card, a red flag. I am seeing it here alongside everything else I'm seeing. Again, I'm not saying don't forgive them. I'm not saying don't listen to them. This is telling me to be cautious. This is telling me to be very cautious. There's a child again on this card. Children can be very persistent, very enthusiastic when they want something. It's like, I want this toy, I want this toy in this shop, I want the ice cream, you know, and excuse me, what they want isn't always what's best for them. And I think if you do kind of not just automatically fall back into what they want, this is what they need to hear, this is what they need to learn, that, you know, they need to learn a few things about themselves. That's what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense. The last card you have your present is the Four of Pentacles. Again, look forward, plan for this opportunity that I'm seeing. Now, if you look at the man on this card again, he's holding tightly onto these coins. If he moved, he'd lose them all. They'd roll away in all different directions. He can't stand up, he can't go anywhere because of this heavy coin on top of his head. Now, I can see, I don't often see this, but he's got a crown on top of his head, and he has a coin on top of the crown that's stopping him from doing what he wants to do. So again, you're being stopped from moving forward from this person who wants you to go back to them and listen to them and forgive them and all of that. You have a crown on top of your head. A crown means that you're a king or a queen, and you should be in charge of your life and in charge of everything, and you should be in charge of yourself. So take charge of yourself. That's the message I'm getting in this card. Put more emphasis on what you want and, you know, where you want to go. So release the coin, release the kind of big, heavy baggage on top of your head, and move forward and do what you want. I hope that's making sense. Take control of yourself. The first card you have your future is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is kind of about this conversation again. I know this is a very, very specific story I'm seeing. It's all pointing me toward the same thing. I'm getting this person who wants to come back. I'm getting it all the way through, and I'm getting that you need to move forward. And so I'm seeing it again in this card. Two sides to a story, two sides of the coin, two sides two sides of this sword. So they want to tell you their side. You know the other side. You need to cut through the nonsense. You need to do what you need to do. Again, on this card, look at what's on top of this sword. A crown. There's your crown. So don't be pierced by this person. Don't let them hold onto your crown. Take it off and take it for yourself. Take charge of your life and move forward from this person. Even if this isn't resonating, even if they're not coming to talk to you, it might be also that, your feelings for them are holding you back. You might not even be with them or around them. Don't let them do that. Take control of yourself. I'm seeing that all the way through here. You are the king or the queen. Again, pick up your crown, move on, take charge. Same again. So the next card you have for your future is the Two of Swords again. Again, this is about a stalemate in chess. When you're making a move, they're making a move, but nobody can actually get anywhere and nobody's going to win. Again, I think this conversation that they're going to have when they come into you, if this is resonating with you, they're going to have their side. They're not going to see your side. They're going to be like, but listen to me, I didn't mean it, I'm this, I. And you're going to be, well, what about how I feel? What about, listening to what I have to say? What about thinking about my feelings? And I think you're going to be locked in this stalemate where they can't hear what you have to say and you can't hear what they have to say. That's what this card is all about. Also, you have a rocky past behind you with these rocks that are behind this woman. So that's the rocky past that you're trying to get them to understand. And they're just not going to understand it because they don't see things in a mature way. They see things in a more childlike way. That's what I'm seeing all the way through this reading. They can't expect you to just forgive them. That's just not going to happen. That's what I'm seeing in this card. And they're not going to see your side. You're not going to see theirs. Yes, I'm repeating myself. Sorry about that. So I'll go on to the next card, which is the Page of Cups. So I'm glad you have a more light-hearted card here. I think you probably have someone else who's interested in you in love, and I think they're going to be coming into your life. But this person's a little bit childish as well, a bit childlike, I probably should say. That's a bit kinder to say that, a bit childlike. And you might be talking to them already. I think you might know them probably around the workplace. I think they're a bit jokey, they're a bit fun, they're friendly, they're fun to be around and all of that. But I think you're going to really, really, really stay away from anyone who's a bit childlike and a bit silly, someone who isn't going to take you seriously. I'm not saying this person won't, but you're going to be like, no, anything that's childlike, anything that's like that, I'm just going to stay away from now on. I'm really getting that around you. So, I think they're probably going to let you know they're interested in you in some way, in some shape or form. I don't know how that is. They're probably going to do it in a bit of a light-hearted way, joking way. I thought I'd gotten rid of these noises. Come on. So they're probably going to come forward in a kind of a light-hearted way, a bit like this page who has this fish in his cup and he's joking around. But I think, you're going to like being around them and all of that, but I don't think you're going to see them as a serious prospect at all. Now, I think that they're probably, even though they're joking and all of that kind of thing, I think behind the jokes, behind the kind of fun and all of that, they're a very sensitive person. And usually people who are the loudest and the jokiest are the most sensitive. And that's what I'm seeing this person's like. So if you do knock them back, in whatever way, be very careful and be very, very gentle, because I think this is a very sensitive person. That's what I'm seeing there. But yeah, the overall theme of this reading is to don't let anyone hold you back. Don't let anyone hold you back by not listening to you and only thinking of themselves, rushing forward, wanting what they want, not thinking about what you want. Take your crown. You're the king, you're the queen. Move forward. You have some amazing opportunities ahead of you. That's what the overall theme of this reading is.